Welcome, everyone. This is Derek Beckwith from DemandScience, and I'm here to introduce a new video series we're doing called Supercharge Your Channel Marketing, specifically designed to help channel marketers throughout the world ignite their programs and bring them to the next level. And in our first episode, I'm very pleased to welcome a special guest, our top subject matter expert when it comes to channel marketing, Jason Carriere. Jason, welcome. It's great to see you today, and thank you very much for helping share your knowledge to our channel marketers out there who are interested to find out what they can do in 2024 to bring their programs forward. So,
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Appreciate it. So I am based here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I've got over 25 years in the IT channel, both in sales and various marketing roles as well, and have actually worked at companies like CDW, Advanced Micro Devices, Spiceworks, and even LinkedIn. The last two companies, I actually stood up IT channel practices on a global basis over the course of about 8 years of my career. And very excited to be here at DemandScience as we begin this new effort and initiative for 2024, as we grow and expand our vertical market presence and help our entire client base with go-to-market strategies and driving specific demand around ideal client profiles that they're looking to harness and harvest for additional pipeline revenue.
Well, great. It sounds like you're the perfect person to help launch this discussion that we'll be having over the coming months. In today's episode, what I think we'd like to be able to accomplish is a high-level look at the different ways that you're talking right now on the ground to channel marketers, whether they're from the tech vendor side or from the channel partner side, how they can strategically leverage really very important tools and solutions to make a big difference, right away. And, with that in mind, I also think it's important for people to understand, and I don't want to say it's a deep secret or anything, but just how important the channel is to the technology industry. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. So the channel really is the ecosystem of resellers and MSPs and VARs and technology providers that create a global economy in terms of IT industry of more than $2 trillion a year. And so the channel really is a means of efficiently and effectively getting products to mass markets, from everyone from cloud providers to hardware providers to service providers. And the big effort in terms of the undertaking around channel in particular is this efficiency model. So if you can scale a channel and you can give them the proper incentives and the proper training as far as they sell products, the efficiency goes through the roof. And that's where manufacturers don't have to rely specifically or solely on their own territory field salespeople or their own specific delivery mechanisms, but they can rely upon this ecosystem of partners in the field, in the channel, that basically provides tremendous value to the end user IT pro. And what we're focused on here this year, and the way we would define channel, which is really critical for us here at DemandScience, is channel isn't just a reseller. It's not just a national solution provider or an MSP. Those are important ingredients. But for us in particular, as we look at the channel, it's really about helping our ISV marketers, independent software vendor marketers, or our alliance marketers. And then also working with our field and partner marketing organizations within our client bases to get that message out to channel partners around the value of their specific products, but also help drive qualified pipeline for those individuals as well. So we're looking to basically, as you said, supercharge or amplify this entire marketplace. And we feel like DemandScience could be very well positioned to do that in 2024.
That's great. One of the things, the stakes are pretty high because, a lot of people don't realize that the channel is responsible for 50% or more of the sales for many of the most recognized, IT technology brands in the world. So with that in mind, what are some of the biggest challenges, whether it's from the tech vendor side and their and working with their channel partner ecosystem, or from the channel partners, Alliance, the wholesalers, distributors, ISVs, the resellers, all the folks that you mentioned?
I think the biggest challenges today really come down to sort of vetting the opportunities from a marketing standpoint. So having sat in these channel marketing roles, a high degree of events, field events, are always part and parcel of how a specific tech vendor might go to market. And face-to-face events are awesome. There's a lot of high value there. Obviously, COVID taught everyone how to go online and make things virtual. But I think from a channel marketing standpoint in particular, is how do you come up with programs or find programs that you can make repeatable, that you can make scalable, and that you can make highly effective. And so what we've been talking to our customers about last couple of months in particular has been, we're not here to replace field events. We're not here necessarily to give you a new playbook along those lines. But what we want to do is we want to have a seat at the table. We want to be able to show you as far as how you can extend your reach more effectively in the marketplace with a greater efficacy around programs and materials. And specifically from a demand gen standpoint, how we can help fill funnels and engage IT pros in the buying process early and sustainable. As some of the literature from a Gartner or others in the marketplace has shown folks over the last couple of years, 80% of the buyer's journey today is done literally kind of in a stealth mode by an IT pro. They're not necessarily talking to a vendor. They're not necessarily talking to a reseller. They're talking to each other. There's not a lot of digital, body language going on there necessarily, but they're doing these small community meetups as well. So with DemandScience, we have the ability now to, take and amplify programs once again, reach the right individual at the right time, and get them into a sales funnel for one of our customers at an early enough stage where things can be influenced.
I see. Well, we could probably talk all day about that. How about we break it down into, say, 4 different examples, all right? In terms of what we can bring to the table right at the outset to help, a channel player, a marketer, really get moving forward.
So let's start with the content syndication in terms of from a lead gen standpoint in particular. So content syndication in terms of how we operate there from a channel perspective is once again being able to, get out into the marketplace through, various websites that we manage and operate ourselves that IT buyers are coming to find more information about specific solutions. So we have the ability once again to, design landing pages for our clients, launch those landing pages, work with them on what content makes the most sense, and develop a specific sort of cadence and engagement mechanism with those individuals who are out in the market looking for things. And this could be done via email or by phone. Email obviously is an easier, tactic in the sense of it's not as heavy of a lift. And what we do is we have the ability then, of course, to engage the IT pro earlier in their journey, get them to raise a hand, fill out a form, and then our clients take those leads and they nurture them. And the big benefit that we have at DemandScience is the majority of data that we use is first party. Right? We're not necessarily reliant on a tremendous ecosystem of third-party data providers. We have the first-party data because we have the data factory. And that's a big plus for clients, especially in the channel, who then could also use like suppression lists so they don't have channel conflict as well. And ABM display, Derek, at the end of the day, really is about sort of warming up an audience, reaching out to a specific audience, using email addresses, using ABM display as a precursor in essence, sort of like the appetizer before the entree, to get someone's interest, to pique their interest, to use it as a sort of a top of the funnel tactic. It's not necessarily going to drive a specific lead, but what it will do is it'll give a frame of reference for when content syndication could then be used to make sure that the efficacy of those leads is as high as possible in terms of from a conversion rate. And that ABM display is one of those mechanisms, once again, that gives you also the ability to focus in on those accounts that make the most sense in terms of the buyer's journey that you want to engage with at the right time.
And I think, within those specific accounts, we're also able to identify, the titles, for example, to include, so that you are getting the entire buying group, and not, peppering unnecessary display ads out to people in the organization who wouldn't be interested, but really looking at who we've identified and know are part of the buying process.
Yeah, engaging the entire buying panel or buying committee.
So it's precision. At the same time, it's a wide set of awareness, play as well.
Yep.
So
casting a wider net, but within a focused amount of accounts.
Yeah. That does come to, if I can segue for you into B2B data. Having that first party data, having the intent insights to be able to help our channel marketers. So maybe you can go into that a little bit.
Yeah, so as far as the intent and the multi-tent model that we built here in terms of using different parameters, using machine learning, artificial intelligence on the back end as well, but being once again to kind of coordinate and triangulate from a data perspective, someone's digital body language. What are they doing on the web? What sites might they be visiting? What content might they be engaging with as they go through their own buyer's journey? And really the predicate to all this, the foundation to a good, marketing or a marketing play digitally in the channel especially, is having reliable and trustworthy data and being able to, when you get a lead in particular, that email address or that phone number has as high of an accuracy as possible. And I've actually done this myself here at the organization through just finding different contacts that I've worked with in the past, reaching out to them, and then using our own email database to do so. And it's made my job easier. So not only are we selling these products, but we're also using them internally, which is important as well, because you could actually see the level of data and the trustworthiness that we have in being able to have accuracy and pinpoint, targeting as well.
Mm-hmm. And so we have, whether it's content syndication, ABM display advertising, using B2B data for targeting, for understanding where a customer is or what actions they're doing to make them, in the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. Just the accuracy of email and phone contact information. But also the insights into, what's going on in particular industries and markets and things like that. But then we're also looking at the ability to take all that information from the campaigns and then provide analytics. And so that those analytics that channel marketers would then have the access to. Talk a little bit about how those help, whether you're a technology vendor and you're, overseeing and trying to build and support your ecosystem, or you're a channel partner downstream.
Yep. So that's a great one. When you're using marketing development funds in particular in the channel, whether that's transferred as an alliance dollar or whether that's transferred straight as marketing development funds from a manufacturer to a reseller, it's important to have good analytics and reporting. Because oftentimes the reporting and the analytics that we provide to a reseller partner, as an example, they could share those directly with their funding partner. So whether it's an HP, a Cisco, a Microsoft, whoever it might be, they don't have to recreate the wheel. The proof of performance, the metrics, the insights, whether it's types of titles they're engaging or different geographical locations, even the firmographic data that we have as far as like on some of the install data that we would be able to, competitively set up different campaigns as an example. The proof of performance there is key. Having sat in roles like that in myself within organizations, the last thing I ever wanted to do was get a report externally from a vendor and then take 3 to 4 times the amount of time that they would potentially take themselves to decipher, decode, and then to process that. We make reporting easy. It's simple. The other thing that we could do, of course, is, with our CX team is, stand these programs up quickly and make sure that the reporting follows in a very fast manner once those programs conclude.
That really helps and works closely as a trusted partner with our partners, including channel marketers. So,
Yep, 100% agree.
Yeah. Well, that's a great high-level overview for our first episode. So what's the next step right now? If I'm a channel marketer watching and I'm like, okay, so what do I do here? What do they do?
Yep. So they can reach out to me on LinkedIn or find me here on this webcast as far as series, or just email me at jason.carriere with an E at the end at DemandScience.com. I've had the good fortune of working with many past colleagues and friends now that I'm here at Demand Science over the many decades I've served in the channel. I love talking, catching up about, old times and whatnot back in the day type of stories on calls. I'm sure that probably bores some of the folks that are joining me from Demand Science on those calls because they don't have that perspective. But reach out to me. You know how to find me, very responsive, and look forward to engaging with you around how we can help specifically drive qualified pipeline, qualified metrics in terms of being able to reach the right audiences, and then be able to, once again, take a lot of the heavy lifting off of you as a channel marketer today and bring our expertise from our CX team in particular to make sure that we have really white glove service for you guys.
For those folks who would also just like to take a quick look at our website, for sure, the web link is here for people to go to, and we have specific information for channel marketers there. You can also get in touch with us that way as well. So this wraps episode number 1. So thank you very much, Jason, for kicking us off. Thank you, everyone, for attending to this and learning more about what we could do, and not just Demand Science, but what these particular solutions can do to help you to be able to leverage these things. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you.